Hey Finxter, what's up? It's Chris, founder of Finxter.com, and in today's video you're going to learn about the Python regex match method. So you may ask, why have regular expressions survived 7 decades of technological disruption? And this is always my start if I'm started talking about regular expressions. And the reason is they are quite robust. So in computer science they are an age-old computer science concept, like 70 years old, and they haven't really changed. So if you learn the skill of regular expression processing and learn it well, this skill will be relevant even in 7 decades. This is my, I promise you, in 7 decades they will still use regular expression for text processing, because text won't going away, so text won't go anywhere. You will still use text, and actually much of the processing in the web is still text based. So even if you look at, like, video is the big trend these days, but of course if you have machines that try to understand videos, they automatically transcribe the videos and use the text as a basis for machine understanding. So even machine learning AI, they use text-based processing. And if you use text-based processing, then you need to understand regular expressions. So let's dive into today's tutorial about the re.match method. So the re.match method takes 2 arguments in its most simple form. The first one is the regular expression pattern to be matched. In this case, we have a character class from A to Z. So all match 1 characters out of the characters A, B, C, D, E, F, G until Z. This is what the meaning of the character class is. And then we have this the plus symbol, and the plus symbol in regular expression means match at least 1 occurrence of the preceding pattern. So we have at least 1 occurrence of an arbitrary lowercase character from A to Z, and we match an arbitrary number of them, but at least 1. And we are greedy, so we match as many as possible. And this second argument is a string to be matched. And the match function, it simply tries to match this pattern at the beginning of the string. And this is also the main difference to other regex match methods, as you will see in a moment. So we will have an example in a moment. And the return value is a match object that describes the exact position of the match. So if it found a match, it returns a match object. If not, it returns none. And in this case, it has found 1. So the result is from the integer 0 in the original text to integer 10. This is the part of the string that has actually matched our regular expression pattern. Good. So let's have an example. First of all, we are going to look at what is a match object. So we have type in import re because we use the regular expression package called re. Then we create an object re.match. Say we have this one. So again, we have the regex pattern. In this case, we match character H followed by 3 arbitrary characters indicated by the .regex followed by the O in our string hello world. And in this case, again, the match object matches at the beginning of the string. So it tries to match at the beginning of the string. So if you print m, we obtain our match object. Let's execute this function. You see this is our match object. So you see it matches the string hello, the substring hello, from the original string hello world at positions from between 0 and 5. So it will always, the start index will always be 0 because it only looks at the beginning of the string. So and now you can use the match object to print some, for example, the start index. Start index is only 0. You can also print the end index. For further processing, the end index is 5. Okay, so this is how you can access the contents of a match object by simply like using this dot notation to access different information, meta information about the match. And you can also access the group and all kind of things. Yeah, you can check it out with the auto suggestion feature. Okay, so this is how you can access a match object. This is what is returned by the match function. Let's have a maybe more advanced example of the re.match method. So can we have, maybe let's use the shell here. No, maybe import. So we import re. We create some text. And now the text can be a multi-line text. Say we have the following. This multi-line text is a part of a Shakespeare book. Let me see her out, alas, he's cold, and so on. So we have like a few empty characters. We have a new line at the beginning of the multi-line string, a few white spaces, and then only we start the text. So and each line starts with white spaces. So now let's try to match lips in our given text. And of course we need to print something in order to see it. Let's see what happens if we try to match lips. Yeah, so because you would expect, okay, we want to match, we want to find lips. So here we have the substring lips. So it should match our basic pattern, right? Wrong. If you execute this, you will get the none value. So and this indicates that there's no match object. It simply returns none if it doesn't find a match. So why didn't it find a match? I mean, we have this substring here. The reason is simple. I already said it 2 times. The match function only matches at the beginning of the string or the text you are going to search for the pattern. So it only matches at the beginning. So you need to write the pattern in a way that it can matches everything up to lips. Okay, and we can do this, for example, by using. So you may want to use something like this. So we have an arbitrary number of characters and followed by lips. Yeah, so this one would be a naive approach to try to fix this thing. Okay, so now we match an arbitrary number of characters until we reach lips, and then we match lips, and then we simply return the match object, right? So this should be the return value of our string as expected. So if you run this, you'll see still none. So it didn't work what you tried. Okay, so why is this? The reason is that the dot pattern matches all characters except the new line character, and we have a few new line character in between. So here the first character actually is a new line character in our text. So therefore it doesn't match anything at the beginning. Yeah. So this is already no match. So it doesn't find any match. So therefore it is none. So how can we fix it? It's simple. Now you can use an optional third argument. It's called the flags argument. You can call re.all. So by passing this flag, this is just a flag. The re.all is a constant integer value stored in the re module, and it indicates that the dot pattern, this one, should match all characters, including the new line character. Okay, so this simply changes the semantics of the dot, nothing more. And this is one of the flags you can indicate with the optional third parameter. If you don't do it, then it won't consider it the match function. Otherwise it will. So if you run this, now you see that it actually find a match. It matches between position 0 and 122, so the match is quite long. And you see the first character is a new line character, then we have a few empty spaces, and then we have the text that is matched. And yeah, so that's why it actually finds the string, the pattern we have searched for. Yeah. So this is how it. Good. So this is basically what it finds. So this is how the match function works. You may ask, okay, what is the difference between re.match and re.full match? Because there's also a function called full match. So let's try. The full match takes essentially the same arguments, but now the result is none. So now it again doesn't find any match. And the reason is there's one difference between match and full match. Full match tries to match. So with full match, you need to write a pattern that matches the whole string or the whole text that you want to search the pattern in. And the match function, it only tries to match it at the beginning. So this is the difference. So for example, if you would have this arbitrary matches here after our lips word, then again it would work. Yeah. So then it would match arbitrary characters, then it matches lips, and then it would match arbitrary characters. Okay. So this should also work. So if you run this code, you again see that the match object is returned, and it actually matches the quite long text, which is approximately double as long, because the lips substring is somewhere in between in the text. Okay, so this is different between match and full match. Full match matches a full string, and match matches only at the beginning. And then there's a third function called search, and this is actually many people use match if they really want to use search. This is one common mistake, that they try, I want to match a pattern in a string, and then they realize that or not. Maybe they don't even realize. They think they didn't find a certain pattern in a string because they only checked at the beginning of the text. But the search method, it matches anywhere. So if the word lips actually appears anywhere in the string, in the text, then it will actually return a match object with the position. So this is actually what you want to do. Oftentimes if you use the re.match function, you actually want to use re.search, because this just searches the string anywhere in the text, and not only at the beginning and not only the full string, but it tries to find it anywhere. So you don't need this helper information like the dot and the asterisk operator to match an arbitrary number of arbitrary characters. So let's execute this. Previously the result had been none, but now the result is a match object, so it actually tells you exactly the position 180 in our text that matches the string lips. Okay, so this works. The search function is normally this is not normal function you would use if you would use the re.match function. So if you have the intuition to use the re.match function, then ask yourself, wouldn't you actually rather use the re.search function, because this is quite useful. And then there's another function. Let's search maybe for another text, her. You see that her appears multiple times in the text. And if this is the case, then you can use the find all function. The find all function has the advantage that it doesn't return a match object, but returns simply a string of the matching position. So it's a list of matches. So the result is a list of strings, and the strings are the positions in the substrings in the original text that have actually matched your pattern. Okay, so if you have another more complicated pattern like this, then so you have H dot and R, and then it gives you a list of matching substrings. This is often some kinds. So in most cases, you actually want to use re.findAll and re.search. And only in some cases, you will use re.match. And I have yet to find a case where I actually want to use re.fullmatch. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I think you have learned about re.match and also the difference between re.match, re.search, and re.findAll and re.fullmatch. If you want to boost your regular expression skills and create yourself a lasting, sustainable skill in the text processing space as a computer scientist and as a coder, then check out our book, The Smartest Way to Learn Python Regex. We have released it this year, and I think it's a good, solid book for giving you everything you need to understand regular expressions in Python. So check out The Smartest Way to Learn Python Regex. Thanks for listening to this video, and see you in the next video. Bye.